Hey there, everyone. Guillermo Salazar here with Myers CX. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of the company. One thing we've been working a lot for in Q1 was really getting a sense of talking to our customers and really understanding how we can best position ourselves against their current way of doing things. Did some really incredible reading this quarter from April Dunford, and I really recommend anybody who's out there doing B2B sales right now to take a read through both their books. Obviously awesome, and then the sales pitch. Awesome, great understanding of how the mind works in terms of making decisions and how we need to position things to help them be more compelling as we seek to try and change the world. So with that, I'm going to cover off, I'll have about a series of these video posts, trying not to make them too long. The first one today, I'm going to talk about just the initial part of the problem, our view of the world, the kind of unique insights that we hold, and then ultimately the pain that's causing to the marketplace. So really covering off 3 slides. Iris is an AI warranty solution for home builders. We help home builders solve tasks faster with less headache, both on their side and the customer side. We will look to increase homeowner satisfaction, drive that CSAT level up, drive up the referral rate up, and protect the home builder's brand and reputation. So all those Google reviews are all 5 stars or 4 stars. Just, we're making sure that everyone's really, really happy with the product and the product experience. So for builders, truths in building today. Hard to argue with this stuff. It's in the news every single day. And as we get closer to the November election in the US, you're going to hear it more and more and more and more and more. From a housing perspective, looking for a 3x output in current demand. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's actually the plan. Given the amount of people we've got in the market right now, it seems practically impossible, but that's the demand side from a housing side of things. Complexity, so housing demand through the roof. Complexity. 19 plus trades to actually put a home together these days. So what people might not understand is that the home builder is a project manager, and typically they use a series of subcontractors to build the home, and then they manage and warrant the home after the home gets turned over. So, and they work all the trade relationships. So 19 trades, so imagine doing anything with 19 people, 19 different companies. That's a lot of work and a lot of coordination. And it's an evidence of the increasing complexity of building a home. Used to take 200,000 steps. It's kind of booking at 250,000 steps to build a home. And that whole, when you consider automation, net zero, solar, all those things, renewables, it's getting really complicated. Labor shortage. There's no secret in the news. This is I think it was January was the highest month since last January that we've had in terms of job openings. I think there's 500,000 jobs that are open in the U.S. in construction, and then and there's more people retiring than actually coming into the field. So it's a real mess in terms of labor is concerned, and then increasing customer expectations. Amazon has trained us to really, really expect things to be fully transparent. I mean, Uber, same story. Fully aware. We sit there waiting in anticipation for our packages to be delivered. We sit there, and if something goes wrong, we get served right away. It's instant, automatic, and reliable. So that's the world today from a builder perspective of who they're dealing with, the customers, etc. Now, when they take this customer experience that they're used to delivering for service and warranty and kind of pipe it back into what they look to deliver, they intend to make it be really straightforward. Customer raises an issue or notices an issue, they contact care, there's a trade day where they collaborate all things. They really want to reduce the amount of vacation time that homeowners are taking, sign it off, and then the customer survey. But then this happens. Because the data is so poorly categorized and it's vague and it's gappy because people are in such a rush. And this happens. So you end up with all these points and touch points where you're back and forth with the customer all the time, creating a ton of extra effort for the customer. Average new home has 15 defects to it. Some have 25, some have 5. But and then each one of those takes on average 15 touches. So you're asking your customer to do 225 things of work in that first year of home ownership. So really, really a lot of work for the customer. So the current approaches to solving this problem, this is what Dunford calls the discovery slide, where I pause and ask questions like, what part of this are you doing how does your process run today? But really there's 3 overarching ways that people are running their home warranty solution out there. There really isn't any dedicated service management solution. Some are using Zendesk and whatever, but principally this is the 3 things. Form spreadsheets and trips. Okay, so tracking things on a Google form, maybe a portal form, and then all that comes into a notification window, an email, or an inbox, and then they kind of run that along. So easy to launch. You can get your Google form up in minutes. highly personalized because you're running a truck out to every single one of those sites to go visit the customer, or maybe even in the multifamily of the building. You obviously bear the cost of the trip cost, labor cost, coordination cost, and there's a reporting gap because the data just isn't as detailed as it could have been because it's picked up by humans and is recorded on clipboards and then it ends up inside a system somewhere. All that delay causes a lot of time. You got project management and ticketing solutions, like I mentioned. Some folks, as I mentioned earlier, homes are built as a project, right? And so there's 250 different steps, 250,000 different steps, 19 different trades. All of that is all put together in a single software system. Now, what they'd like to try and do is take the service management piece and plug service management into the estimating and project management software. The problem with that is that project management software is based and built on a sequential series of events and dependencies, whereas service management has those similar effects, but it's obviously much smaller. But time is the issue in service management. So you want to move things as fast as possible. This is why in the rest of the world there's a service management module and there's a project management modules. In the builder world, they try and merge those two together, and it kind of doesn't work. And you end up with existing system. It's broadly available because you're typically running a project management system or a procurement system, and that rolls into increased trip costs because you're still going back and forth to clarify data. You've got cycle risk because you're managing things that are kind of natively built on dependencies, but they really should be built on cycles. So from the time the ticket is raised, the time the ticket is closed is kind of like what the most important thing is to the customer. And then you've got a reporting gap because the data is just built for a different race. And so that creates part of the problems in the system. And I hear over and over again, I just want to know what the data is for this unit, or this house. I just want to know how long it's taking. I just want to know how many cases per home. And they just don't know that data because it's built for a different reason. And then finally, you have customer and you have office video solutions. So that's like using Microsoft Teams or FaceTime. Easy to launch, familiar software. We've all got it on our phones and devices. But you've got app risk. You've got iOS versus Android complexities. You've got completeness risk. So am I actually following all 9 questions? Where is that stored? I'm still doing stuff off the side of my desk. So not a great way of approaching things. And let's be, transparent. Like if you were to say, hey, the plan is to do 5,000 FaceTime calls this year, people go, you're bananas. There's no way you can actually deliver that. And you're gonna just break that design and that plan. So that is a scale risk. And then ultimately, like I said earlier before, you've got a recording gap. So I'm going to stop right here in terms of the approaches. I hope April Dunford is happy that or proud of the fact she's affected this thinking so cleanly. Hey, I'd love to get some feedback on my teardown. Chat later.